Hey man, right, I just want to show you something, okay? Now, I want to show you this for the power of SENuke from a local perspective. Now, I'm going to show you and your guys, apologies, God, sorry mate, I had it all open here a minute ago and now it's throwing a wobbly on me. Now, going into Firefox, all my cookies and everything are cleared in Firefox. Go into Google, type in banners broker. This is just an example for a minute, okay? Now, this is, what's this? So it's in North America. Oh, seeing Firefox is screwing up. See, it's up here, it's got GB here. So annoying because I don't know why it's doing it. It's got a weird setting like inside of it that keeps on defaulting. Even though I go into .com and I'm behind a US proxy, it still sets itself to Great Britain. But anyway, I've changed it to US. Now, just want to show you two videos. These two videos here are mine. Okay? Banners Broker is a little business that I'm involved with. Got involved, I don't know, 7th of March or something. 26th of March I uploaded this first video, or I uploaded both of them, but they're both mine. 1, 2, so it's number 3 and number 4. This guy here, sometimes he's number 2, sometimes I'm number 2. I do think I'm going to end up knocking him off in a little bit, but that's by the by. Now, apart from getting some impressions, okay, the reason I'm here is because of SENuke. And what I've also been doing, not only YouTube videos, so the power of this is that you can get, for local, a client's video using SENuke, get some views to the video, use SENuke, you get the video up in the top 3. Okay, what stands out more? Video stands out more. But not only videos, also directory listings. Okay, now I can't really give you any examples of my clients that I've done this for. Okay, purely because I haven't got the permission. They don't want me to, you know, and I go by that. But just think about the power of SENuke if you're doing it to a client's directory listings, their Yelp page, or their do you have Hot Frog in the States? Then if you have Hot Frog, but you can start to dominate the first page of Google for a client for their search terms, as long as you've got them in the title and somewhere in the description that you've got on there. You start to dominate. Now, you do it for their Facebook page, you do it for their Google Plus page. You know what? You've then got the top 10. I'm going to give an example of how I use SENuke for this, So you do a YouTube video, you do their actual website, you do their directories and things like that. You do their Facebook page, you do their Google Plus business page. Can you see the power of that? Do you think a potential client will pay you more money to do this kind of stuff? And you know the beauty that now Google have even done these new changes is that my tactics that I've been using means that even more of my clients' directory listings that I've been whacking some nuke stuff for are on the first page. Do you know what? It's because Google are beginning to favour bigger websites. Let's I'm going to just turn this off quickly, and I'm going to go to Internet Explorer, and I'm just going to type in my local area, because that's where I am, right? Plumbers, into Google. I want Google. .co.uk. Plumbers Birmingham. Oh, come on. Disconnect that. It's just not liking it at all. Now before, because I do keep an, obviously I'm in Birmingham, I keep a close eye on what's going on in the top 10 for various searches and stuff like that, but plumbers and electricians and things like that is normally one that I use as examples with other potential clients to show them Google Places and stuff. Now, Yale, free index, Thompson local, right? They weren't there before. Before all the Google updates, it was local businesses that were showing. Not so on the first page you might have had Yale, or you might have had free index, but not as many as you've got here. There's lots of different ones here. Okay, it's just, you know, it's completely changed. It really has changed. Electricians Birmingham. Now Yale right at the top. Can you see that? Now for electricians, and there's free index. They're just dominating. They're just right up there all the time. And people, because it's number one, people are going to click on it. Of course they are. And they're going to then see these ones here, and they're going to go to these. You've got your Google Places, obviously. So what am I doing? I'm going into free index, because free index seems to be always popping up on the first page, but the category, okay, the category of free index, what I mean by that is Birmingham electricians. Okay, so this is the Birmingham electricians. Then you've got your Google ads, which surprisingly, with one of the new Google updates, they've said if there's any ads above the fold, then it's going to knock down the rankings. Well, here's free index, which gets a lot of traffic here in the UK. Got ads above the fold, its rankings haven't been affected at all. So, and they're Google ads. Do as I say, don't do as I do, Mr. Google. But that's another digression from Brian. So what I've done is for my clients, and I haven't got any clients in the because with electricians and with plumbers, they're normally one-man bands, and to be honest, they don't want to spend a penny. So, you know, they're very the return on investment for this and the headache that you get from them is, it is just a nightmare. So I don't do anything with them. But that being said, if this was my client, I would use this page. Okay. Can you see in the title you've got electrician in Kings Norton, Birmingham, UK? Well, regardless of the fact that the keyword isn't together, electrician Birmingham, if that's the keyword I'd want to go for, which it would be because that's the one that gets the most search volume, you can still get this to rank. And what you can do is in this description you can just amend it just a little bit, so you've got electrician Birmingham in there somewhere, like what for one of the finest electricians in Birmingham, electricians Birmingham can boast, or Birmingham has to offer, choose us, words to that effect. Okay, just so the keywords there once, and then you go into SENuke and you create a campaign, and I'll show you the kind of campaign that I do create. Okay, so my VPS is actually not working too great, so I'm doing it from my laptop. Okay, and hopefully it'll work a bit better for you. So I literally am going to take you through and do the campaign from scratch. I'm not going to put all the details in and do all the spinning and all that kind of stuff, but the best spinner is obviously built into the back end, or can be built into the back end of SENuke. And that being said, I'm just going to fly in and do it. So the campaign name, banners broker, 13th of the 5th of the 12th. Make this a sub campaign, absolutely. Number of profiles. Now you can mess with this, but to start with, just do one profile. Okay. SENuke has it's just done an update, would you believe it? And it's just a little bit different to how what it used to be like. So just please bear with me. So I want this video. Now this URL, remember, is come on, Brian. Can be the same. Will be the directory URL. Okay, so like if I go back to this example here, so for free index, so if you're in the UK, you take one of your clients' free indexes page and you take this URL. Okay, and you put that into SENuke. So you put in your keyword, you know what, that's fine for now. I will show you how to, because I don't do it all from within here anyway, so I'll show you how I amend things in the back end of SENuke to make it better. Title. So tags, you need to have 3 tags. So banners broker, all one word. Banner brokers, because people type that in as well. Title, spin this. What is banners broker? Now a lot of people say don't put your keywords in the title, because then you're trying to compete your main money page with these ones that you're creating. I don't agree with that. It's proper relevant, putting proper relevancy into a page when the title, the meta title, has the keyword, and then the keyword, or even if you've got the click here or whatever, anchor text that links through to your page, it's helping with the relevancy. Auto generate. Now just something to be aware of what I actually do here. Okay, normally I'm going to show you. Just type. I can't remember for the life of me where it's stored. I have a spreadsheet with 500 or so boys' names, 500 or so girls' names that are all 5 letters. Okay. And what I've done here is I've created some formulas. I've got all the numbers over here. Okay. So I'll always put 3 numbers in the username. Okay. And then if I just, can you see they change? So everything changes. So I've now got a random first name, random second name, and a random username. Okay. It's all about minimizing the footprint using SENuke. So username, put that in there. The girl's name I always put as the surname, and then the boy's name I always put as the first name. I always like to put the number in the middle for the password. Company, you've always got to put company name in. And picture, I would always recommend putting a picture in. Okay. Select category. Business, money, finance, internet, marketing, advertising. text. Now, depending on how many directories you've got for your client that you want to do this for, because they're directories, and the more popular directories have already got thousands and thousands of blooming links pointing to them. So when we're sending links to these directories, to the directory pages, they're less likely to get any kind of penalty from Google. Now, I'm not saying spam the hell out of it and link, but you can do more, you can do it faster to rank this directory page for a client, a video for a client, a Facebook page for a client, a YouTube channel for the client, their Google Plus page, you know, you name it. And compared to their actual website, you're less likely to get something banned, but more likely to get the page onto the first page of Google. Now, the tactics that I use are, if I do a search for example, electricians Birmingham, I will go through Google to find my client's directory page. Okay, so the top 3 that come up, they're the ones that I will use, because Google will already put them in the top 100 or the top 200 or whatever for that search term. So with just a little bit of backlinking, you're there. You can really ramp this up. So author bio, I always try to put 2 links in. Okay. I'm just doing this as quickly as possible a minute. Okay. Now, one thing just to be a little bit mindful of here. I'm not going to do it here, alright, but so click spin bio. Yeah, links is left untouched. Sometimes links gets touched and it messes it all up, and they actually spin it. Now, what I also do here, okay, is I'm not going to do it in this instance because there isn't a physical address for this business of mine, but I will put if I had I haven't even got a website for this. It's all getting driven by YouTube at the moment. So I'm going to use the channel URL. I can't even remember where it is. So the channel's URL is here. I'm not going to put the www or anything like that. Just the plain text URL, okay? Because Google picks that up and it's classed as a mention. the same as citations are classed as a mention on the internet, so's this URL that is just the text mention. It still helps from an SEO perspective. Okay, so you would do this with one of your directories, the main directory. Leave out the www, sometimes leave the www in, sometimes do it all with the HTTP and the www and leave it out like I'm doing here. And then what you would do is you would put business name and the address, the NAP, name, address, phone number, email address maybe, okay? But in this instance I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, what I use here is the Full Monty version 3. Okay, now you're probably going to struggle a little bit to see this, so God, I can't remember how to get rid of some of these. Right, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit, and I apologise for the size of it. I'm hoping that this is recording in a high spec HD for you, so you can see it better. Right, so this is the directory site, okay, or the YouTube video. So in this case it's my YouTube video. What it's got pointing at it is it's got an article directory, press release, article directory, social network, all pointing to that money site. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 different types of link there. No, not types of link. 7 different mini projects all pointing back to here. Now social networks have got, I can't remember, 50. Article directories have got 50. Press releases have got about 10. So there's quite a lot of links that are going to get thrown here at this page. And then obviously you've got your indexers and Web 2.0 profiles. Something that I actually add in here myself, that I actually do it a little bit differently to this, but I'm going to do it here so you can see it a little bit easier, so it makes a bit more sense. Now the beauty of this is they're all named nicely. So tier 2 Web 2.0 to the section B. So it's literally telling you which different tiers you're on. So this is tier 2A, tier 2B, tier 3, tier 2C even. So that's tier 1, 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 that's tier 1. Then everything pointing to that is tier 2, everything pointing to this one is tier 2, everything pointing to this one is tier 2. The reason that there's nothing pointing to the press release, the article directory, is that they do not produce URLs for you to then link to. That being said, some of them actually do now, and if you wanted to, you could set that up outside of this wizard and link to these with some forum and Web 2.0 profiles. Okay, so something I do in here extra is I create social bookmark, Web 2.0, I know these are getting small, but I hope you can see them, and you know, if you want some additional training, maybe we'll see what we can sort out. Quick link to the money site. Okay. Over here, I'm just going to call it T1, just so I know which one is which. Okay, it's always nice to keep an idea of what's going on, so you keep control. Is there anything else that I want to do? I think that's it. Now, normally what I do is I go and do this. Okay, every time I will use these kind of things. I always click auto generate first, so it gives me the password and it does the date, because can't be doing with messing around with trying to think about what dates to use and all of that. Okay, that's your username. Generate the Hotmail. Obviously we just have to wait a little bit while this does it. It doesn't normally take that long to do it, so fingers crossed it just does it super quick. Test it. Successful. Right. So caveat here, okay? I would, if I was you, use a couple unique articles that you've bought from a couple different places. We'll put some links down below for where we get our articles from, and then what I would do is go into something called the best spinner. So while that's doing that, I'm going to click generate content from here. Now what this is doing at this moment in time is, because I've got it to auto spin, it goes through and it automatically spins the content, which in this day and age, okay, isn't a great idea, because whether Google or not can read today, there's going to come a time when Google's going to properly be able to read. Now, I had an argument with somebody the other day that they reckon that Google does not check for grammar and spelling. because they reckon that it will be too hard to implement into an algorithm. Well, my argument is the best spinner has a grammar and spelling checker within it. That's just a program. Okay, Google's just a program. Microsoft Word has a grammar and a spelling checker within it. How hard is it going to be for Google to implement a grammar and a spell checking into it? It doesn't fathom to me, I'm afraid. So now there are trains of thought now that it needs to be, some people say 10th grade, and I don't really know what, because it's in the States, I don't really know what 10th grade is, but here in the UK they say that it wants to be like a 13 to a 15-year-old has written it, because the average person hasn't got that good, it hasn't got that good at reading and writing, and if it's too complicated, then it will lose people's interest. But also, if it's worse than that, it's going to lose people's interest. Now, a very good site to check all of this kind of stuff on is, he says, and I'm struggling to remember what it's called now. See if it's I can't remember what it is. I will put a link to it at the bottom. I'm not going to waste people's time, but it's a very good checker. It also could check for plagiarism as well, so for unique content out on the internet. It's free, but you can also download a report, get them to email the report to you, and what I try to do is make sure that it is over 50 out of 100. The grammar is 50 out of 100. Anything less than that, then Google thinks it's either spun or it's been written by a non-English native speaker, that kind of stuff. Okay. So just for argument's sake, I'm just going to do take a quick sentence out of here. I'm going to put it into the best spinner. Okay, so best spinner, literally you get your articles written, okay, and you go through, and so a dietitian, and then it gives you, a diet professional, nutritionist. Well, the next word's nutritionist, so you don't use that, so you do that, or, and then it gives you the words, or even, and you just make sure that they make sense. Okay, a nutritional expert, or an expert in nutrition, can easily help, can certainly help, assist, aid, support, enable you. So we've already got some stuff in there. You too, definitely, yada yada yada. Okay, I'm not going to teach you here right now how to use the best spinner, but all I do is I flick through and I choose what makes sense in that sentence, just like this, and it's automatic. You just tab through to each word and it gives you the differences. Okay, and then what I'm looking for is, well, back in the best spinner you can do it. It tells you how unique it actually is. Now it's saying there that it's 6% unique. Well, that's not actually true. But if you click on the spun bit there, it tells you, it gives you the article, if it was the whole article without the spun, and it all, you know, it gives you the unique article that you want. Now back to, so that is the best spinner. Now if you haven't got this, we'll leave a link below for you to get it. It is a tool that every internet marketer must have. You can turn one article into 100 that you can use over and over and over within SENuke. Now SENuke automatically pulls stuff like the best 5 thesaurus matches. Synonyms is the word. Come on, Brian. But sometimes, because it's automatically doing it, some of them don't make sense. So if you do it manually, now you only have to do this once. So if I quickly click on check uniqueness, it is not recommended yet. Okay, so remove those links. Yes. So it's just literally, it's just checking the uniqueness. Now I try, not try, I always go for 80. So let's say the remote name could not be resolved. www. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. It might not work. But there has just been an update, so maybe there might be a little glitch in SENuke. So I look for 80% uniqueness. Okay. Now what I will do is I will have 2 articles written. Oh, here we go. It's worked. Right. So this is 67% unique. Right. I like to get it up to 80% or more, and the reason for that is that I can use these 2 articles over and over again. So for a few months I can carry on using those articles because they are so unique. But when I buy 2 articles at 500 words each, then I spin them using the best spinner. So I'll put them both in here and I'll go through, and it'll take 20 minutes to half an hour to do this. But then I've got this lovely unique article, or 2 articles. So I put them both in here, and the reason I put them both in here is because I then shorten article to 550 words. So SENuke will automatically take different sentences to combine to make a totally unique article. I've paused there because it is really powerful. Google wants unique content. Now if you want it to be extra sure and extra safe, if you were doing this kind of nuke to a client's website, I would buy, well, I do buy 4 unique articles. I put them into the best spinner. I spin these so it's down here and it comes back at 80% or higher. Okay. Then I put it into SENuke. So actually it'll be a lot higher than 80%, because then I put all 4 of them in here, and I only use them for that 1 month. But with the links that we'll provide you below, you can get 4 articles at 500 words for $22 or something ridiculous, that in my opinion are written perfectly well for what we are using them for. One final thing, what I do in here is when it's, what are we on here? We're in social network. Okay, so when it's within social network, I will randomly put in 2 links, and I always do it in the middle of a sentence, in the middle of a paragraph, and I try to make it make sense. So when you choose a diet plan, see, this isn't even anything to do with my niche, like banners brokers and a money making thing. It's got nothing to do with weight loss, so I'm not actually going to be able to go ahead with this at all. But for this instance, just so you get an idea of what's going on, I'll put it in here. But I would read the sentence, and then I'd say something like, so for more info, keep that on. That there somewhere, and then I'd just find somewhere else where I could put it in, but always in the middle of a paragraph. And sometimes I would do it actually in the middle. Of a sentence. So, because Google isn't stupid, they will, if it's just plonked at the end like this, it's thinking oh, it's just some crappy article directory and the link's just been shoved at the bottom. It's not as relevant. If it's in, my tests have shown, if it's in the mix of the article, they take more notice of it, and I think that's because they believe that, you know, you're talking naturally about a subject, and hey, if you want to find out some more about this, click here. Yeah. So just for ease, a bookmark description, right? Looking at auto spin. But what you could do is you have your description, looking for business marketing and advertising. Not really a very good bookmark description because it's a bit too salesy. Bookmarking, you know, maybe you should, for bookmarking, you should put something like this looks like a good banner provider save for later and add to shortlist. Yeah, because remember, bookmarking is all about, instead of you adding a bookmark to your browser, you're adding it to the internet. So when you can log on anywhere, you can go into Dig or whatever, and you can see the bookmarks that you've saved for later times. But just to show the best spinner quickly again, edits. So to get it, this kind of looks like, no, this particular looks like, no, this specific, the following looks like a good banner provider. This particular looks no, it doesn't. This unique looks no. This one looks like a good banner provider. Appears, seems like, seems to be, like, appears to be like. Actually, we're not going to do that last one because it's already there. Like, a good, along the lines of a good banner provider. Yeah, so you just go through those words. A real good, a real great, excellent, a real very good, that doesn't make sense. A superior banner provider, a fantastic, decent, wonderful. I'm just working these in just for, well, banner is banner ad provider, advertising provider, because it is, you know, and then online advertising, because it's, yeah, you can add your own and then it adds it up here. Provider, supplier, service provider, company, yeah. Save for later, keep for later, bookmark for later, to find later, so that's a good one. You know, I wouldn't have even thought about that, but it's thinking, you know, it's very good. Later, later on, to find in the future, for in the future. I'm not gonna, as well as add to the shortlist, that makes sense. And also add to the shortlist in addition to add to the well, really it should be adding to the shortlist, but I think can get away with that at the moment. To add to the shortlist, put to the shortlist, insert to the shortlist. I'm not going to, because shortlist should probably actually be two, it should be one word. That's that for now. It actually is one word, I'm sure of it. Shortlist, nominee list, yeah, and that's it. And then you just control, copy. Something's not going, it's going a bit funky, and it does sometimes, unfortunately. It's saying 5% unique. Well, you know, it's more than 5% unique, for crying out loud. Paste that in there. Check uniqueness. Let's see what this says it is. 66% unique, so, you know, again, I try to go for 80% there, but, you know, we'll be here all day if I'm messing around. I really hope you're getting the idea of how I use this and the power of it from a local perspective to dominate a local market for a client. Oh, let's bookmark again. Yeah, okay, can I come back to that? No. Normally I would do a different bookmark here, description, but I'm conscious now that we're taking a lot more time than I thought I was going to. Just going to try and fly through these as quickly as possible. Let's just do a quick preview a minute. I just want to show you quickly what it looks like. Oh, and I also put more than just the 2 titles that I've put in here at the moment. And there you go. So here we go. We've got 4 links here. Well, because it's an article directory, I'm not 100% certain that they would take 2 links in the main article body. I do normally only have 1 link in the article for an article, and then 2 in the author. But for this I'm not going to go in and just amend it. But spin again. Yeah. Fly through. Just thinking about it a minute now. Now what you can do with this, okay, because you've just done, you can create this and have this one, and once you've finished it, have it as your master copy. And then all you have to do is duplicate it, and I'll show you that a little bit later on. So if you put this as like in 100 years time, right, so it's never ever going to be picked up in the scheduler, and then all you need to do is duplicate it. Okay, so this is the master, right? But I like to set all the settings in here because they then get saved going forward. So how many days is spreading the submission over? Well, spread the submission over 20 days. But then I make some other amendments a little bit later on. Okay. Let's check the balance, make sure there's some money in it. The amount of captures that I go through using this bloody program is unreal. So let's check the balance. It's going to say it's not going to let me disable that. Ready to export, so you click finish and it runs off and it's doing its thing. Okay. Now, this is your banners broker thing, right? So this is what I've just created. All them in there. Okay? But it won't start until 1st of June, 200 years time. I've done that on purpose because this is the master. Okay, so I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it master. But now all I have to do is duplicate wherever I'm going. There it is. Yeah. Duplicate the name. Make this a root campaign of masters. Not really. Banners broker. Oh, what's happened there? 13th of the 5th, the 12th. Save campaign. And what it does is well, that's okay. It's put it underneath the banners broker, the master banner broker tier hierarchy in the hierarchy. So at the moment, this is the campaign. There's a few things that I need to do to make this better than how they've set it up within SENuke. It's just a few little things that I don't know, they miss a couple things out, and it really annoys me, because anybody who's a newbie with SENuke would let this thing run and it wouldn't run correctly, and it would screw up. Now there's a very similar video done by SENuke, basically doing not with the tactics that I'm showing you with regards to local and directories and videos and all, but using the full Monty version 3, which I've been using since the full version Monty 3 came out. As soon as it came out, I was using it because I always mess around to see what they're all like. I've always used full Monty because it's quicker, but I always go in and I actually make them a little bit better than how they've set them up. So this is how it is basically at this moment in time. I'm going to stop this video here because I think it's long enough, and I'll do another video finishing off this campaign to show you how it all works. Okay.